Thursday, Thrifty Tips Day. So come with me. We've had a busy week, lots going on. Show you some of the things that have been going on. And of course, I'll have a thrifty tip. Please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. So what's been going on? We had rain. Well, here's an update on what's going on here. We have gotten inches of rain on top of that 12 to 18 inches of snow that we had already, which all melted, and then we've gotten inches of rain, like 4 or 5 inches of rain. So we have a ton of water, and we do not get water in our basement. Don't really have a sump pump. That's kind of an ironic statement, isn't it, while I'm filming a big lake in the basement. But we've been here 8 years, and there's only been one other time this has happened, and that was a time we got like 7 inches of rain. So it's very unusual, but here we are, and it's grown overnight. It's almost to my bike, and I think it hit that carpet over there. That's going to have to be moved. So my husband has set up a temporary sump pump that's going upstairs out the window, but hopefully we can get this situated and it stops raining. Although, do you see my incubator over there? I have to get there to candle the eggs. I do have an idea though, because I have been dying to get back into my kayak, but it doesn't really work so well in the wintertime, so maybe I should pull that off and just go ahead and kayak over through the water to my incubator instead of going around through the dry patches. What do you think? I see someone shut this little guy in his cage overnight. I would assume that is to keep him from chewing up that hose right there. So he's had a bad night, trapped in his cage like most little bunnies instead of out running around destroying things. We had a vet visit. See this little critter and that wrap on her leg? This is Cami, and Cami has issues with her feet, and she definitely has issues with vet wrap on her feet. And she has some calluses on the back of her legs that, I don't know, it got infected or something happened to her callus. So we had to take her to the vet, and it involves wrapping this foot once a day, putting medicine on it. It's been a challenge. Fortunately, they sent tranquilizer pills home for her. Isn't that embarrassing? She weighs about 11 pounds. We're going to have chicks. It's lockdown time. Okay. Here are the eggs that I set a while ago, and it's about 3 days before they are ready to hatch. So I'm going to do something called lockdown, which means I'm going to take them and put them in the very bottom of my incubator because I have some others up there in the top. Now these are my light Brahma eggs, and I want to keep them separate because I want to see how they do. And one easy way to do that, I like to use a hatching box, and this has holes in it. You can use lots of different things. People use different things. This is what I like to use. And it's got ventilation in it. I'm going to put paper towels along the bottom, and I'm going to set all my Brahma eggs in there. And so I'm going to slide it in the bottom shelf, and then these other eggs can kind of go along around them, and just keep them separate so I can see how they do. So if you turn in on Sunday, we ought to be able to see some chicks here. And when I do this lockdown process, the idea is to not open the incubator again until about 24 hours after they start hatching. And I'm going to raise the humidity so that it's higher there the last 3 days to help these little guys hatch. So we'll see how they do. So are you ready for today's thrifty tip? It has to do with your electric usage. With just a little monitoring of this number, you might be surprised how much you can save. I know we were. And remember, what you don't spend means it's almost like you have found money. You've earned more or you've saved more. So let me show you how you can do this. Your electric company takes a meter reading, or will at least estimate it, once a month, and ours happens to be on the same day. Yours may too. So the next time you get one of your bills, look on it and see when it looks like they're reading your meter and what day it is, and then it'll show you what you begin with and what you end your present reading. So that gives you a number to start with. It's going to show you what you use. Ours will show the average of what we use. And we have a pretty moderately small house, so it works out. We don't use a ton of electricity. Everybody's is going to be different. Okay, make a chart of some type. I'm pretty old school. As you can see, I just use paper, and I do it for each month. You just need something to keep track of your daily usage, and you don't even really have to be this precise about it as I do, but you need some way to track it from day to day while you're monitoring what you're using. You'll have an electric meter somewhere, so find it, and you can track this number every day. And I just make it part of my morning when I'm feeding the birds and going outside. I check that number and compare it to what we used the day before, subtract it out, and there's what you used. Now, what does all this matter? How can it help you? Let me tell you. Okay, so armed with your daily electric usage, you can tell a lot of things. First of all, it gives you a starting point of what are you using. And from there, you can go around and look at what are you leaving on, like hair dryers going all the time, or TVs, computers is something we found actually that leaving them on all the time makes a difference. Just anything, lights, but there are some big ones. So you can start slowly cutting those things off, really watching your usage and see that number rise and fall. So we pretty much know what we use in the summer when we have the air conditioner going. And when something goes out of whack, we can tell where it was. Steve, when he's working in his garage with all those tools, will have it go up. But if we start seeing a pattern, then we can go back and look at what it is that's causing that and try to adjust it before we just get a shocking electric bill. So it's just a simple, thrifty tip that I hope helps you. And as one of my favorite financial people says, you need to tell your money where to go. And if you're not, it's just gonna like fly out the window. So this is an easy area that you can really control your expenses. Thanks so much for watching today. I will see you Sunday on Sundays with Stacy. Because I'm pretty OCD about keeping track of stuff like this, I can tell you what our usages have been for years now in our propane. And one pattern becomes clear, that when we have teenagers in the house, the numbers go way up. But, you know, we kind of like having them around, so there's not much you can do about that.